it's Hesh from kickazz.com. I'm going to show you how to make a David Hasselhoff potato. Wait a minute. David Hasselhoff. No, it's a Hasselback potato. I mean, these things don't run on the beach. They bake in the oven. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Essentially, what you're going to want is a few potatoes. Wash them. You don't want a dirty potato because nobody likes dirt in their mouth. I mean, well, if you do, that's your thing. Just let me know down below. Wash a few potatoes. Essentially, what we're going to be doing here is making a very pretty, perfect baked potato. Ah, but is it baked or is it fried? That's where we're drawing the line. We really don't know. You take a potato and you cut it down to about 3/4 of the width. Just like so. See, that is too far because, well, you've cut off a piece of potato. That's not what we want. What we do want, take the ends. Makes it a little bit more stable. You're going to want to go about 1/8 of an inch. I know it's kind of hard to see because, well, I'm using crappy cameras. But you're going to want to go about 1/8 of an inch. Do not cut all the way through. It's essentially like a spiral potato or a curly fry, but it's still connected. See what I've got going on here? Look, see? Yeah, that's a Hasselback potato, or a, you know, running on the beach potato, if you catch my drift. Just continue. Get the entire potato. Once you get to a certain point, it might be prudent so as not to chop your fingers off with your giant farberware knife. Flip it around. Continue to cut, and remember, curl your fingers a little bit because if they're sticking out there, you're going to have a bad time. I mean, nobody wants fingers in their potatoes. I know I don't. Continue. Once you've got your potato done, there's a very, very, very simple way to treat this little guy. Like, oh, look at him. He's so cute. He's so cute. Line of baking pan with foil. I mean, that's not very hard. I'm using some cheap pan coating spray. It's essentially vegetable oil in a can, aerosolized. Makes it nice and easy. Spray that sucker down. Why? Because we don't want our potato to stick. Set that little guy right where he belongs. A little bit of salt. A little bit of pepper. Ah, but not before we put a special sauce on it. I guess you could call it a sauce. It's essentially garlic powder, butter, mixed up, and drizzled. And then we're going to stick this guy in the oven. I've got a few more here, you can see, that I'm going to do. But I don't think you want to wait around for me to get that done, so see what happens next. Once you've gotten all of your potatoes Hasselbacked, put them on your sprayed down aluminum foil lined tray. I mean, throw some foil on it, spray it with your cheap cooking spray. Get them ready to go. What I'm going to do is take a little bit of olive oil, squirt them down, just a little bit. You don't need a lot. You don't need to massage them. You don't need to really do anything other than give them a little shot of oil. And a little bit of salt. These are potatoes. They're very bland. Here, rather than kosher salt, I'm using iodized table salt. Perfectly fine, super cheap, works fine. A little bit of pepper, just a tiny bit, doesn't need much. Why? We took our butter with the garlic that we were talking about earlier, and we just made sure that was nice and melty. Now I'm going to take a little spoonful and just put it right over the top here. Yep. Those are my dogs in the background. They're playing. That's what they do. They're dogs. I mean, what do you expect? And you know, I'm not exactly filming in a commercial kitchen, so deal with my dogs. I'm just going to spoon this over. Oh, it's going to get in all those nice nooks and crannies, and it's going to make this absolutely delicious. This is not something you want to baste while it cooks. It's going to take about an hour at 450 degrees, which I already have my oven preheating. So I can just stick these in. You'll see in just a moment. I'm going to just finish basting, and then we're good to go. Turn a little bit. Just dump it all over. Come on. This is going to be tasty. You're going to love it. I guarantee it. And at this point, we're ready to cook. Give it about an hour at 450 degrees, and we've got some beautiful potatoes. Watch and see what happens. Once you've cooked your potatoes to crispy, perfect deliciousness, put on your happy little mitten here. Get those suckers out of the oven, because we do not want to overcook them. This is a Hasselback potato. I know, looks a little weird. What kind of potato is that? It's a delicious potato, I'll tell you. Use some tongs or something, and by the way, that's mandatory. Every time you pick up tongs, you gotta click them. Pick it up. And plate it. You're going to want to let these rest for about 15 minutes at most. Personally, I usually do 5 to 8 minutes. I know that's a little specific, but yeah, about 5 minutes. And you've got a nice, crispy, delicious potato. It's got the olive oil on it, it's got salt, it's got pepper, it's got garlic. Absolutely delicious. Cool presentation. I mean, do you like butterflies? I know I do. And I mean, that kind of looks like a caterpillar, right? Which, I mean, butterflies come from caterpillars. So eat this. Look, you can go whoop, pew, whoop, pew. Ah. It's always fun to play with your food, right? Don't tell your kids that, alright? That is a Hasselback potato. And I've got another recipe coming right up very shortly. It's going to use this as a side. And it's going to be delicious. You're going to love it. I guarantee you. Remember, stay foodie.